See, this is what I'm talking about. It's just sort of like this, like, don't you think that's problematic? Like, don't you think women like me are doing? It's like, listen, we don't have time for political correctness. We don't have time
It's not about
to.
being politically correct. And they make it personal too. They're not saying you've got to shit
There's
out.
so many women you don't realize who really, really wants the best for
Some of your
men.
views, again, you might alienate a lot of people who would otherwise.
And I simply don't understand this. Let's sort of push women to maybe the corner in some sense. Is that not problematic? I do know many of your views on women, which I find abhorrent. I'm going to be honest. I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
Girls are here to be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. And that's why you're gonna drop that ass for a nigga, because you were put here to drop that ass for a nigga.
I hit a woman for the first time in my life, and I'm having fun.
Marcelo on track. Marcelo on track. Marcelo on track. Marcelo on track. track.
Damn, that's a hard face. Woo. Mic check, mic check. What's good, everybody? How y'all feeling tonight? A lot going on tonight in these YouTube streets, man. I noticed this prime time hour. You gotta fight for an audience, man. There's a lot happening right now. There's some stuff going on. I'm gonna cover this later. I'm gonna let it play out in full without my influence, but I am like a specter in the background of a lot of these YouTube conversations lately. I noticed, man. I'm like the coon that sat by the door. I'm inspirational. I be inspiring conversations among the blacks and shit. It's crazy what's going on these YouTube streets, man.
Marcelo on track.
I guess tomorrow evening we're gonna have to review. There's a racial conversation happening right now. The niggas have finally met a white man that they can talk to, and they're still tripping out. We're gonna review that tomorrow. But for tonight, though, I found some other information we can go over tonight. Oh, you was talking about me this morning? I had to tell that old nigga about himself, man. I didn't even, you know, it's so funny. I had to remind that nigga, bro. It's weird that you 50 years old and you don't have any life experiences to talk about. You don't have any game to give up. You don't have anything interesting to share about anything, really. You just live vicariously through other ain't shit niggas and you call it content. Yeah, we had it out the other day. It was a whole thing. But moving on from night, I'm trying to stay away from the miserable niggas, man. Miserable niggas will suck you down into their realm with them. Oh, the music was too loud. My bad. But we're gonna move right into this. I guess we're back into the gender war tonight. Science has proven that men are just generally smarter than women. I know, like we needed science to tell us that because everybody's like dumb nowadays, and we need experts to tell us shit that we used to just naturally know instinctually. I found a new game for date night though. I think I like this game. Connect 4 shots.
No.
And of course, being the man, you're supposed to beat your girlfriend at about 90% of the home games that you play. For the sake of your relationship, for the stability of your marriage, for your general position as the male of the home, you must maintain your position as the king of games. That's what my kids know me as. I am the king of games. My son is only just now getting to the point where he can like scratch out a win occasionally. He can put me on a video game that I never played before, and it's like a fighting game, and I'll beat him up a little bit. You have to maintain that title as the man of the family. It is imperative to Western civilization.
No. No.
And you know what's so funny? They always believe that they can beat you. That's what makes it interesting. That's what really makes it cute. It's like they always believe they can beat you. And every now and then when they get a win out, they like really, really rub it in. It's crazy. But you got to let them have it, right? Because they really, really thought they could beat you those other 90 times. But we're finding out there's an actual reason for this disparity. It turns out that men are not only bigger, stronger, and we have what they call a better spatial awareness. And that's really when it comes to like, hand-eye coordination, just having general acuity with like putting the ball in the hole from 10 feet away, things like that, throwing the spear right between the eyes of a buffalo. It's like we've been honed and trained and bred for a particular role. And we've been constructed for this role. Generally speaking, the men of every group are just a bit more durable, just bigger, stronger, faster, smarter than the women of every other group. Now, recently, though, we've begun to tell ourselves, because, science and feminism science, basically, we've begun to tell ourselves that women are just as smart, if not smarter than men, actually.
So why would God equip the average woman to be smarter than men? Do you think it's just for homeschooling their children?
Again, the claim that you made at first, which is that men and women have bell curves, the men's bell curve being wider than the woman's, would not imply that the average woman is smarter than the average man.
Oh, no.
It would line them up exactly.
The curve itself implies or actually indicates that
no, it would
on
just
average...
Be the extremes.
No. If you actually look at the curves at the top, it's women taller than the men's curve.
But the IQ of the curve would be on the x-axis, right? That's where you get the extremes. So I think.
So are you disputing that on average women are more intelligent than men?
As would Larry Summers, as would the people who have studied this.
As would anybody with any real living experience of the world, right? Which is not to say that women are dumb by any measure, but when it comes to really, really acquiring heavy, complex knowledge, the overwhelming vast majority of people who you would call an expert in any field, especially any technical field, it's 90%. I'll shoot it down to 85% men, just because we've opened up the gap, and there are some smart women who've been allowed to matriculate up. So, for example, the argument from a feminist would be that for whatever reason, we have a society, the patriarchy makes women dumb, right? That's roughly speaking a feminist argument. However, when it comes to endeavors that require no entry from the patriarchy, men outperform women. For example, how many female chess grandmasters are there? There's no real barrier to entry in the world of chess, especially at the top levels. I don't think it's separated by gender at all, because there would be no need to separate men from women in playing a game of chess. Yet, when it comes to the female chess world, it's like one chick, bro. She's lonely as fuck up there. And I want to just jump to a study that's come out recently. This is why we actually were doing this article. I mean, this show tonight. This is actually old. This is from 2002, apparently. Sex differences in general knowledge. And I'm just going to read you the abstract real quick here. A general information or knowledge test, which was shown to measure 19 domains of general knowledge, 6 first-order factors, and 1 second-order general factor, was constructed. Data obtained from the 469 female and 167 male undergraduates were tested for sex differences using students' T in the Hotelling's multivariate T. It was found that males obtained significantly higher means than females on the second order general factor and on 4 of the 6 order factors identified as information about current affairs, physical health, recreation, arts, and science. Females obtained a significantly higher mean than males on the first order factor identified as family. There was no sex difference on the remaining first order factor identified as fashion. The results confirm the findings in a number of standardization samples of the Wechsler test that males obtain higher average scores than females on the information subtest, and that this is not attributable to a bias in favor of males on these tests. Again, that is a study from 2002, old study. Now, here's something else from 2022. Now, this is a little bit more scientifical. Like, you really have to be initiated to understand exactly what they're trying to explain here. But I'm going to try to explain it to you. A lot of words I've never heard before here. A lot of phrases I don't know what to do with. Sex impacts the development of the brain and cognition differently. Sex impacts the development of the brain and cognition differently across individuals. However, the literature on brain-sex dimorphism in humans is mixed. We aim to investigate the biological underpinnings of the individual variability of sexual dimorphism in the brain and its impact on cognitive performance. To this end, we tested whether the individual difference in brain sex would be linked to that in cognitive performance that is influenced by genetic factors in prepubertal children. Prepubertal children, N equals 9,658, ages 9 through 10 years old, the Adolescent Brain Cognitive Development Study. To capture the inter-individual variability of the brain, we estimated the probability of being male or female based on the brain morphometry and connectivity features using machine learning, herein called a brain sex score. The models accurately classified the biological sex with a test ROC-AUC of 93.32%. As a result, a greater brain sex score correlated significantly higher with greater intelligence and higher cognitive genome-wide polygenic scores. Structural equation models reveal that the GPS Intelligence Association was significantly modulated by the brain sex score, such that a brain with a higher maleness score or a lower femaleness score mediated a positive GPS effect on intelligence. The finding of the sex modulatory effect on the gene-brain cognition relationship presents a likely biological pathway to the individual and sex differences in the brain and cognitive performance in pre-adolescence. Now, reading that out loud for the first time, what I think they're trying to tell you is that the more masculine your brain is, the more likely you are to obtain and acquire and explore knowledge. Meaning, among the girls, women who have a more masculine brain, according to these numbers, would likely have a higher IQ. But the quote, more masculine brain is automatically going to be locused in the male body. Male body, masculine brain, higher IQ. Now, this is a little bit of an anecdote I want to share with you here. The department has canceled the Foreign Service exam for 1989 following a related court decision which found that the test is discriminatory because men pass its mandatory general background section at a rate roughly twice that of women. Let's pull that up, shall we? Oh, it's goddamn paywall. This is an old article from the Washington Post, but a lot of people don't really understand that even when it comes to like your civil service jobs, one of the reasons why you see a lot of women working for the government, we're going to come back to that women working for the government thing in a minute. One of the reasons you see a lot of women working for the government is because they literally lowered the bar. They lowered the entrance exam. Well, they just changed the test because it was too hard for women to pass before. Now I want to actually get a little bit of the white man's explanation here, because the Whatever podcast didn't really explain that bell curve chart that people were using to kind of show that women were a little smarter than men. It's actually untrue.
On average, men are slightly more intelligent than women. The difference is about 2 or 3 IQ points, but it already expresses itself in childhood and in the teenage years. But perhaps you've been shown this graph that said that men and women have the same average IQ of around 100. In blue is the male graph, in pink the female. But then they say, well, on the bright end, there are some more male geniuses, but this is offset by the fact that there are also more excess imbeciles on the dumbass side. However, that graph was made up. Here's the real graph with the real data, and it shows that even under age 16,
I want you to pay attention to something. He said flat out, unequivocally, that graph is made up. When you are dealing with left-wing propositions and suppositions, always assume that somebody's lying to you somewhere in this chain. There is a chain of logic that they are arguing from, and they're presenting that argument to you as they want you to accept a certain thing. Always assume there's a lie somewhere in there, and that's what makes the whole thing fall apart.
But this is offset by the fact that there are also more excess imbeciles on the dumbass side. However, that graph was made up. Here's the real graph with the real data, and it shows that even under age 16, boys are slightly more intelligent on average than the girls are. But on the dumb side...
Hey, Imperious, it's good to see you here. I would like to have you come up maybe tomorrow, and we're going to review that conversation that Venus won't let you be a part of. Because I want to say right now, just because you get this, you were there watching. Josh is kind of being nice when he's talking to them a little bit, but I'm just going to flat out say it as a far right, as a bit of a budding fascist myself. I don't think Josh is a real nigga, Imperious. I'm just throwing that out there. I was listening to Josh. I just felt like you just don't give off real nigga vibes, Josh. I'm sorry. You just don't. You're trying, but you just ain't really got it.
None of these niggas have motion except for me. There has to be one real nigga left in America, in this damn country.
But yeah, if you come by tomorrow, I'm going to try to review. If she keeps it up, I'll review that interaction with Josh and the blacks and him explaining Christian nationalism. Good times, good times.
The unintelligent side, there's no excess of male imbeciles. But then in adulthood, the male average clearly establishes itself as being slightly higher than that of females, about 2 or 3 IQ points, maybe 5 at most, but it has the implication that almost all geniuses are men. And on the unintelligent side, we find more women. Does that mean there are no gifted women? Yes.
What was that again?
Are men higher than that of females, about 2 or 3 IQ points, maybe 5 at most, but it has the implication that almost all geniuses are men.
So being a genius is a man thing.
And on the unintelligent side, we find more women.
And being dumb is kind of a girly thing. Not exactly, but you know, a lot of chicks over there. Where on the genius side, there's barely any chicks. And you know, this is an interesting thing. People talk about like idiocracy and whatnot. And the idea, like in the very opening scene of Idiocracy, they talk about the smart high IQ couple not breeding as much as the dumb low IQ couple. Which that is mostly a product of a welfare state. Outside of a welfare state, the really dumb people aren't going to be breeding as much as that. It's not gonna, no, it doesn't work quite like that without welfare. It's actually fairly difficult to maintain yourself below a certain IQ. And what happened though is that the IQ the higher IQ people just got outbred over time. And then I think what's happening, one of the things that I notice when I talk about Black culture is that the matriarchy itself, it's kind of dysgenic. It breeds downwards in terms of IQ. And I imagine something like that happened over time in the Idiocracy situation. So like we'll go to this a little bit too, but there's a study that just came out that says intelligence isn't really sexy, right? Think about the implications of that in a world where women have complete free choice to mate and reproduce as they would. If you leave it up to women, they will make us dumber because they are not attracted to intelligence, generally speaking. And you could actually go out on a limb and say that with a lot of modern women, especially, intelligent men are either a turn off or are threatening or intimidating in some kind of way. Like I hear you, Miss Cantrell, but I know for a fact that being Black, being smart is intimidating to a lot of Black women. Being intelligent is a threat to a lot of Black women, especially if she herself, you know, she went to school and she thinks she know everything. Being intelligent puts you automatically on a collision course with a lot of Black women. It's just been my general experience, right? Because it's like when you know there's a bunch of bullshit going on and you're vocal about it too, it doesn't win you any friends really on the front end.
Does that mean there are no gifted women? Yes, there are plenty of gifted women. I once knew a woman who had an IQ over 140 who complained to me that in that region, the ratio of male to females is about 8-to-1. 8 males in the category IQ 140 to 1 female in that category, which made her dating life very difficult. But then she met me.
You see that shameless plug he just threw in at the end? He's like, I found the one woman in this whole hemisphere with an IQ of 140, and I'm going to knock her up. I hope you knock her up, but you better make babies. Don't just be talking about high-minded intellectual bullshit. That's the curse of smart people. Y'all need to just make more babies. Stop worrying about all the smarty-arty bullshit. But let me show you this real quick. Intelligence isn't really sexy. We have proof, y'all. The manosphere has been right about everything for a long time now. You lucky the manosphere isn't really into the UFO stuff, because we'd be like over 1,000 right now. We are batting like 9,000 in the manosphere. But science confirms that as a general rule, intelligence doesn't win you any brownie points in the dating market. Women don't typically self-select for intelligence. Recent research overturns a core claim in evolutionary psychology that intelligence is a strong sexual attractor. Speed dating and lab studies. Intelligence is detectable but doesn't boost sexual appeal. Attractiveness dominates. Black pills like a motherfucker. Dating app data. Intelligence has a tiny positive effect, but is negative 7 times weaker than looks. No sex differences. Which I think men never gave a shit about women being smart. But there's this myth out there that women are what they call a sapiosexual, right? You know, I love you for your brain. Maybe she does on the front end theoretically, but you still gotta like fold her legs up behind her ears like a pretzel. Otherwise, your intelligence ain't worth shit. Population genetics. Higher intelligence and education predict greater risk of lifelong sexlessness. Higher intelligence and education predict greater risk of lifelong sexlessness. That is why Jay Prince got a bunch of kids, and a lot of these other niggas, they was lucky to get one baby out of a chick. Listen, that's why Jay Prince was making babies most of his life, and a nigga like Big Gay Stanley waited till he was like 40 something to make a baby, right? He was just too intelligent. His genes wasn't really worth nothing in the game that he was playing. JP, on the other hand, nigga had the pimp juice. Just saying. And you know what's so weird? I was on John Galt panel earlier, and what's that chick that he got up there? I'll be calling her his AI sidekick, but she a real girl though. But she asked me, she was like, "You didn't?" What? She asked me what college I went to, and I was like, "So funny. I never went to college. You think I'm educated?" And the thing is, like, I know. Technically, I know things. I guess I may be smart by somebody's measure, but I've learned over my life in the community, keep all that smart shit to yourself, nigga. Don't nobody want to hear all your facts about shit. Don't nobody care that you know things. And the less you talk about shit, the more pussy you could get. These are things you learn on the way. Being smart don't get you no bitches. That is the downside. And you know what? It's not even a black thing either. This is across the board because white guys go through that same shit. Being smart do not attract the bitches. Niggas be doing calculations and quadratic equations trying to attract bitches.
How do it equivalate?
It just don't. It just don't work, bro. I hate to break it to you, but you got to be just a little stupid. You have to be willing to be a little stupid. Because now it's like you're on an equal playing field. Now we can have fun. There's a puzzle at the heart of human mating psychology. Evolutionary psychology textbooks confidently assert that intelligence is a key female mate preference. Surveys support this. When asked, women consistently say that they want clever, accomplished partners. Yet a growing body of empirical evidence suggests something more complex is happening in actual mating context. In the past few years, multiple studies using different methods, speed dating experiments, dating app analysis, and population-level genetic data have converged on a surprising pattern. While intelligence does have a small positive effect on mate appeal in controlled settings, this effect is dramatically weaker than the impact of physical attractiveness, right? And at the population level, higher intelligence paradoxically predicts worse mating outcomes, not better ones. You got to be most stupid. You do. You got to be most stupid. Listen. If you want to connect with a woman's heart, if you want to stimulate a woman's mind, you got to be a little bit dumber, bro. Now, I know this is not a 100% one for one thing, because nothing with human nature is 100% one for one. But if you're trying to get some pussy, bro, you gotta stop knowing things. Let her feel smart for a little while, right? I know, I know. Things you learn on the way. More stupid, more bitches. Which ironically explains a lot of dynamics in Das Community. It really does get to the heart of a lot of the community dynamics. And I think there's something else even more a little more insidious at play here when it comes to like black men and black women in particular. I suspect among a lot of black women there is a low-key resentment of black male intelligence, because black male intelligence is threatening to the general social political order of black women in general. I'm just saying, man. I've learned this from the bottom up, all right? Life experience, field research, whatever you want to call it. I've learned crucial things. I've made observations in my time in the wild. And this study only confirms everything that I've lived. There's nothing more crushing than being in, I was in middle school, and this one little light-skinned bitch with big titties I liked. I knew right. She said one thing, and I knew right away it was over. She was like, "Ooh, you talk white," and I was like, "Fuck me, god damn it, god damn it!" I knew right then at that moment. Those 3 words, I knew it was over for me. That little bitch said, "You talk white." Like, fuck. And then this is what made it crazy too, because like at the time I was living with my pops at the time, right? And my pops is like from the island. He don't really care about certain American cultures and shit. He just like go to school, get an education, do what the fuck I tell you. And so I had a whole back and forth with my dad about wearing my own clothes to school, because the nigga was like, "I'm gonna make sure you look how I want you to look." And I'm like, "You don't understand. When I go to school, I'm gonna have to beat somebody up. And so when I start getting into fights, you can't be coming at me trying to beat me because I got in the fights because you sent me to school looking a certain way. So now I'm at school and I'm actually looking fresh and I'm feeling good again. And this little bitch like, you talk white." Oh, crush the hell out of me, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God. True story. That shit just ruined the whole vibe. I'm like, damn, just can't catch a break for shit. All right. The direct evidence, lab and field experiments. In 2021, Dribe and colleagues tested whether intelligence translates into sexual appeal in face-to-face context. Using both speed dating sessions and video clip ratings, they found that intelligence was accurately perceived. Smarter people were correctly identified as such, but this perception didn't boost their appeal. The effect was slightly negative, though small. What did matter was humor, and that's what I had to learn. Men who were funnier were judged more appealing, but humor wasn't correlated with general intelligence. And you can use humor to hide your intelligence, right? As long as you're funny, she doesn't know that you can do math and you actually have your social security card and your birth certificate in the safe back home, right? She doesn't know that. As long as you can make dumb jokes and shit, you're good. Physical attractiveness, meanwhile, dominated everything else. Each unit increase in attractiveness boosted sexual appeal by 1.15 units. A massive effect dwarfing all other factors. Attempts to signal intelligence, like reading newspaper headlines, only helped if the person was already physically attractive. Because what self-respecting woman is out here trying to fuck a smart, ugly nigga? I mean, when you think about it from her perspective, you kind of have to understand a little bit. Like, you got this one magical gift, and you're just not gonna waste it on some bucktooth nigga who knows everything. Like, no, I'm sorry. I just don't cut it. You got to be more beautiful. Like it is the black pill for incels. Like you can go to the gym and you can take all those training courses or whatever, but if God made you fugly, bro, God bless you. Online dating in the real world. And a 2025 study by Whitmer, Rosenbush, and Merrill brought these findings into the modern dating landscape. Instead of using real profiles, the researchers constructed synthetic ones. Each profile combined an AI-generated photo with attributes like height, occupation, and a short biography. To test the effect of intelligence, some profile also displayed a verified IQ score between 80 and 120. These numbers were fictional, but presented as if they came from an app feature. This allowed the researchers to isolate the impact of showing intelligence on mate choice without relying on self-report. Participants made over 5,000 actual swiping decisions on these control profiles, enabling a casual test of multiple features: physical attractiveness, height, occupation, biography, quality, IQ score, and similarity to the viewer. 2 reasons to date me. You would be the good-looking part in a relationship. 2, please. And you see, oh man, yeah. Online profiles always cringe. The results were unambiguous. Physical attractiveness had by far the strongest effect. Intelligence did have a positive influence, importantly, not a negative one, but its impact was roughly 7 times smaller. Biography, quality, and height also mattered slightly, while occupation was essentially irrelevant. Perhaps most striking, there were no sex differences. Men and women prioritized these traits in the same way, directly contradicting the familiar evolutionary psychology narrative that women uniquely value intelligence and resources while men chase beauty. The study also found evidence for homophily. People were slightly more likely to swipe right on profiles similar to themselves in intelligence, attractiveness, and height. But these similarity effects were modest compared to the raw impact of attractiveness itself. So I don't want to read the whole thing to you, but yeah. It is what it is, man. Some people are just going to win more than others. Some people are going to have a harder time at it. Some people won't get no luck. I guess that's why we always had like convents and clergy and whatnot. So, there's a role for those guys. Dick Dug with the foul ball. I spoke to Asian women. Most prefer their men knowing more than them. I think that's a general, it's a general truism that is untrue, apparently. I think women do a great job of projecting what they think are desirable qualities about themselves onto the world. And so I think for a lot of women, it may be they perceive it as it serves a benefit if men see them in this way. But what if they're not actually that way? What if all the IQ in the world can't make up for a nice chest and a good smile? And if you have a little bit of charisma and you can make her laugh about things, what is IQ really? And what I think that actually points to is women maybe rate women's perception of IQ might even be different than the standard IQ test perception of intelligence, right? If you can make her laugh, you're smart. Women play into certain things men believe about women on purpose. Yeah. That's what these red pill spaces have been attempting to reveal about women to men over years. But enough of that. Enough of that. Let's switch this up a little bit. All right, it's all dry and nerdy up in here. We had to get technical though. We had to get into the data. But I want to switch over to something a little bit more fun. Conversation I came across like this morning actually. Paul Pierce be having some interesting moments on his show.
There's a lot of housewives that are not, the one you know is basketball wives. I'm talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is all white women throwing drinks at each other, cursing each other out. But guess what? It is not as bad because they're white, right? It's not.
Wait, let me go back a little bit.
We glorify the fighting. We glorify.
And it's like, you don't have to sit here and be women hating on women. Every bad.
Are black women appreciated by men?
Are black women appreciated by men?
It looked like the question, like a flash of sadness went across her face when he asked her that question. Like, watch closely. When he asked, are black women appreciated by men?
By men?
Did you see that? Am I lying? Am I bugging? Like a wave of sadness washed over her face in that moment. It was like unmistakable.
Are black women appreciated by men?
Are black women appreciated by men? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, I think that other races, like how you do a lot, are more put on a pedestal. And I see that a lot. Especially from you. And so I feel like, you know, black women do kind of feel disrespected and they feel underappreciated a lot of the time. Yes, because all I see on the internet is black men downing black women every day.
Now look at the double speak she just walked herself into, by the way. Watch the question and now look at her explain herself. This is one thing I noticed too, talking to women. Sometimes you have to ask the question multiple times, right? She was a good sport and she just walked into the truth after she lied the first time out.
All right. That sounds good.
Because I got to see what kind of context I put it in. You know, I may have said something, but you know, I must have been slipping. Are black women appreciated by men?
Are black women appreciated by men?
Now, notice again, wave of sadness washed over her face, unmistakable. And the question was about men in general. And she says yes, right? But then she goes over and says, well, you know, black men don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like nowadays.
This is how truth comes out with women. Truth comes out in stages. It went from no to I don't know to no and to I mean, hold on, run that back one more time because it was like a progression of truth.
Are black women appreciated by men?
Are black women appreciated by men?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like
and now the no.
Nowadays, I think that other races, like how you do a lot, are more put on a pedestal. And I see that a lot, especially from you. And so I feel like, you know, black women do kind of feel disrespected and they feel underappreciated a lot of the time. Yes, because all I see on the internet is black men downing black women every day. In our comments, it's way more men. I would assume when I started this journey that it would be women hating on women. Every bad negative comment about me is mainly from a man. I rarely see a woman comment negative. And
you know what? You need a husband. That's why. Women who have husbands get less hate on the internet. I've noticed this.
If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
Didn't know men were so catty like that and so quick to want to put a black woman down. Like, she's trash. She's this, she's that. She's like the most horrible things you can think of. And I'm like, who raised y'all? because I come from a generation and my dad and how I was taught, like I never see my dad talk down on a woman like that. Even if he can't stand this motherfucker, he's not going to sit in my face and pillow talk about another woman or bring her down.
I think your dad and men of your dad's generation, they gave women too many passes, man. That whole age of as a man, you just don't talk bad about women. I don't even understand that type of thinking. Like, somebody say that shit to me, I'm gonna just look at you weird. Like, what do you mean I'm not supposed to talk about women? Why not? Is there a rule?
He probably did it behind in his own room, like this bitch, you know, but it was never that. And I feel like Black women, all I see on the internet is how white women are better. American, non-American women are better. This and that are better. And it's like, have your preference, but don't bring us down while you're doing it. If you want to be with a woman that's not American or not white, do that. But stop referencing it to a Black woman. Because when Black women get with white men, they're not talking about Black men are trash. They're just loving and living their life with this white man.
Bullshit. They created a whole online culture for that shit. Divestors, the pink pill, the girl who swirls. Like, they had a whole wave.
Period. And it's like, you don't have to sit here and down the other race because you don't want to fuck with them. You don't have to do that. At the end of the day, if you want to mess with a white woman and an Asian woman.
I think she's mixed, but I don't know mixed with what exactly. My first guess is Black man, white woman, but I don't really know. So we'll have to do a Wikipedia or something. I don't even know her name.
And this woman go do that and leave us out of the conversation. Period, point blank. And I think that that's what the women are frustrated about. And if we have an opinion on this, we're aggressive. See, she has too much of opinion. That's why they don't like you. That's because you talk too much. You're loud. Okay.
But this is the thing too. And the reason why Black women get so much hate is because how we, on our TV shows, across these platforms, how people look at us. So when you start,
like, she might have an Arab dad and a Black mom or something like that. Definitely not a typical.
They look at us like an ignorant group of people.
Right.
And especially like when you look across the platforms and you start looking at the Real Housewives of whatever, and we glorify the shaking that ass, we glorify the fighting, we glorify the talking about each other. I'm talking about like Black women. We glorify it.
You know that white women do
and
that
the
too,
ratings
though.
and the ratings are off the chain too.
You know that white
Yeah, white women do it too.
women do that too, though.
See, and that's what kills me about these conversations. You know, white women do it too, though. There's a little bit of a difference. I mean, can we just be honest a little bit? Let me share something with you guys. Let's take a quick pause in this conversation. Because you know I have clips to back this show up, right? We got to fill the airtime up with other things too, right? White women do it too.
Confession, I've had my grills in 8 months straight, as in I sleep with them, eat with them, drink with them, brush my teeth with them on. Like, I've had them on for 8 months. And obviously recently my teeth have been hurting me a little bit. So I'm going to take them off. Huh? Oh my God. Oh my days, no. Confession, I've had my grills in 8 months straight, as in
one more time, y'all.
With them,
I forgot to freeze frame on the last part.
Them on. Like, I've had them on for 8 months. And obviously recently, confession, I've had my grills in 8 months straight, as in
damn, you know, it gotta smell crazy in there. I know it gotta smell crazy in there, bro. Like, soon as you took that first one off, it was like opening the tomb. like just a wasp of dead air, just the whole wall of dead air wind. It was like fart wind. She took off her caps and twerk wind came out.
I sleep with them, eat with them, drink with them, brush my teeth with them on. Like I've had them on for 8 months. And obviously recently my teeth have been hurting me a little bit. So I'm gonna take them off. Huh? Oh my god. Oh. Oh my days, no.
Damn, bro. Damn, bro. And what's crazy, you're not even supposed to like brush your fronts of your jaw. I've never had gold in my mouth, but I already know like you take them shits out and you brush them, you put them in some boiling water or something like that. God damn. Oh man, was that a little bit too rough? Is that too much? All right, let's try something a little bit tame or something less. I know it's dinner time for a lot of people. My apologies.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Make sure you get my face, bitch.
Excuse me.
Get my whole face.
Okay.
Slide your ass the fuck back.
Okay. Imagínese lo que sufrimos hoy en día, ¿verdad? Ya tenemos que grabar para todo. ¿Ah? Sir, excuse me. Sir. You call the police, please. You call the police.
Damn, she must have her papers in order. You know when an immigrant say call the police, they dead serious about that shit. He know, I'm good. My papers are straight. You going to jail, bitch. They called the police. She must have talked to him already. They know her.
For the men.
Call the police.
Yes. It's aggressive. Yeah.
You want to play with the police? Don't fucking play with me, bitch.
14, 15, and 16. Okay.
Y no hacen nada aquí. No te ayudan, no te ayudan para nada.
No, they're not gonna help you. No ayúdame. No por favor. Solamente me ayates.
Aquí es en la Walmart de Homewood. Walmart de Homewood. De Homewood, miren, estoy temblando. No me hace nada. No le llaman a la policía ni nada. Así es aquí en Homewood.
Yo, I swear to God, I'm learning a little bit of Spanish as life goes on. That's how many Mexicans are here. I'm like learning Espanol through osmosis and shit. There are so many Mexicans in America. I'm just literally absorbing Spanish through my. I'm absorbing it like sunlight. This shit is crazy. There's so many fucking Mexicans here. I'm absorbing Spanish like sunlight. Yeah, you guys don't even know about that Hispanic osmosis shit. It's real. It be happening to y'all.
I'm talking about like black women. We glorify it.
You know that white women do
and
that
the
too,
ratings
though.
and the ratings are off the chain too.
You know that white women do that too, though.
it's not.
Jersey Shore, the housewives of like Pontiac or the other housewives of Beverly Hills is white women. It's not black women on that at all. So I'm letting you know there's a lot of housewives that are not, the one you know is basketball wives. I'm talking about the real housewives of Beverly Hills is all white women throwing drinks at each other, cursing each other out. But guess what? It is not as bad because they're white, right? It's not as aggressive. It's not as ghetto. It is not as raunchy because they're white women doing it. Black women are always held to a way higher standard. We always have to prove why we deserve to have a seat at the table. We always have to prove that we deserve to be here. No matter, we always have to be way more classier than you. A white girl can come in here half naked and I can come in here with a little titty showing, and guess what? I'm a whore. Like, it's always going to be this comparison. And I think that black women are tired of being compared.
I just think that's a little bit self-conscious. Your titties are not that powerful. I think a lot of black women just have like racial self-consciousness, and black men too, but I think it's way more pronounced than the women, because women are just a lot more mental about that type of shit. Self-consciousness and shit.
Do I agree with you that culturally black people are doing too much, shaking ass and this and that? Yes, I don't think you're wrong. Like Zeus Network and Jocelyn's Cabernet and all of that stuff is out of line.
This is the thing. When you're American culture,
yeah,
you're being more watched than anybody. Like when you think about culture in America, who sets the trends? Who sets the tone for how we dress, how we look, how we act, how we run, how we play sports? It's us.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're already up here as far as eyeballs watching us. So then people around the world are going to assume, just like from watching us on every microscope and every camera and every national platform, that's how we are. But we don't do us no favors by putting more shows out there like the Cosbys or just like the classy housewives of this show. No, we want the drama, and we feed off the drama because that's where the money is. Now it's about clout. It's about who can make the most noise, who could get the most attention, and we become attention whores for the money. It's just, but if that's the only way that black women can make money, and I'm not saying that is.
I don't even think it's about the money, bro. And this is the thing about like the modern internet age. It's not about the money. It's more about some people just want to show off certain shit. Some people just enjoy doing certain things. They like the fame and the celebrity of it, and it doesn't have to be attached to the money either. It'd be nice if they made the money, but this is just who they are.
Hey y'all, so I'm about to go on a date with this hardworking man, a 9-to-5 man who's a real gentleman, and guess where he's taking me? He's taking me to Longhorn.
Shout out to Longhorn Steakhouse. It was a fine establishment until now. True Hype with the $2. I think she said her mom was Persian. Yeah, I could believe she's a little bit Persian. That means she's like a type of white.
And I'm going. A lot of your hoes be wanting to fine dine and go out and get a fancy smashy shit, and that coochie does not equal the food that you require. Here, if y'all can't eat cook. But anyway, hopefully this Longhorn make me want to suck a long dick. I'm gonna keep y'all up the rest. Oh, what's this? You got me some perfume? Oh, I told y'all this guy is so nice. What's this, Louis Vuitton? Shit.
Hold up, man. What type of working man went and bought her a Louis Vuitton and some perfume? Was it Louis perfume? What type of working man?
Dick. But hopefully this Longhorn make me want to suck a long dick. I'm gonna keep y'all up the rest. Oh, what's this? You got me some perfume? Oh, I told y'all this guy is so nice. What's this, Louis Vuitton? Shit. It smells good out here.
I feel like she got one of them. She got like a rich Nigerian nigga. She got one of them rich Nigerian niggas. He don't even care about it like that. The Nigerians, they on some whole other type of time. I don't even understand the way they do shit.
Now, no, I'm with you. I'm just trying to make sure I get a good video of the outside. You go here often?
No.
You take all your hoes here?
No.
Yes, he does.
My mom brought me here.
It's not the butter I smell. Oh, it smells
He
so
sound
good.
like
It
a
remind me-
Southern
It
nigga.
smells like Texas Roadhouse. Period.
They blood. Old school blood.
It's for these ladies in red here. What's it? They blood. They blood. Why they all got red on?
Oh, he a nigga.
So what y'all do with the rest of that? Oh,
Yep. Oh, it can't be. Oh, you forgot to get your bread. Here we go. I'm gonna let you guys know.
Suki done found her a rich simp. Look at her. Suki living her life, y'all.
How this tastes.
That's good.
Oh shit.
Now, is she doing this for the money, or is she doing this because she just likes to do this, right? Is this for the love of the game or for some bread? You think she getting money out of this, or is she just really in it for the love of the game?
Here we go. Woo. So let's hope this Longhorn. You ain't gonna fuck with it.
I feel like she doing some OnlyFans shit to this corn right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go get up out of here, man.
But look, he won't leave. He like, can you do that corn thing to me when we get out of here? I want you to do to me like you did the corn.
You ain't gonna fuck with it.
Let's go get up out of here, man.
Look, he ready to go. He like, nah, I see you with that corn there, girl. I'm like, you know what? It's time for us all to get up out of here. You know, I see how you do with them type of things right there. It's time for us to go on, girl.
Let's go get up out of here, man.
Baby, I ate
How much you think it is?
everything.
How much you think it is?
I think it's probably like 300. After all the food that I ate.
At Longhorn? Shit.
What you think? $90? Oh my.
Yeah, you out your mind. $300 at Longhorn? That's like 6 people. You bugging. $300? You out your mind.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Do y'all see? Baby, I have all this food, drinks, and they gave me this big thing. This bill only 90. Oh, so you think that you just going?
I don't think nothing. How
Yeah,
much?
you think that my coochie only worth $90?
See, bitch, you was happy too. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? She got a full stomach. She was happy. Then she looked at the bill. Oh, nah, you can't get in this pussy. Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean? My job was done. Yeah. Come on. Come on. I don't even know why you had to come at me like that. Like, that shit wasn't even called for just now.
You just going?
I don't think nothing. How
Yeah,
much?
you think that eight? What you think? $90? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do y'all see? Baby, I have all this food, drinks, and they gave me this big thing. This bill only 90.
So how much?
Oh, so you think that you just going?
I don't think nothing. How
Yeah,
much?
you think that this?
So, wait. Is post-check clarity a thing? I have never heard of such a thing. Post-check clarity. Damn. I got to add that to my my Rolodex of modern lingo. Post-check clarity. I get it. You know, sometimes as men, we get post-nut clarity. It's like, damn, once we got that nut off, it's like, oh, you look different. Maybe with women, she saw that check. She was like, suddenly this nigga look different. She's like, $90? This nigga look funny. When it was $300, he looked all right. He was looking like that corn on the cob when it was $300 though. When it was $90, she like, wait. This nigga just tried to get me on a discount? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. This nigga just tried to get me on a bargain price. Nah, we not even about to go there. Nah, that's crazy work, bro. She saw the bill. She was like, wait, I know this nigga just spent a little something on me. That was $300 out of a working man paycheck. That's a nice little something. You know what I mean? You take $300. Let's say you make like $1,000 a week. Let's say you make $1,500 a week, and you just threw $300 away on this bitch. Because like if you make $1,500 a week, you probably got other bills and expenses, right? So you just put $300 just to feed this thankless bitch. God damn, that's what she wanted, bro. Ain't no way. He tried to get off on a discount because nigga got bills and shit. Ain't no way.
Oh my gosh, do y'all see, baby, I have all this food, drinks, and they gave me this big thing. This bill only $90. Oh, so you think that you just going?
I don't think nothing.
Yeah, you think that my coochie only worth $90? I thought you would at least spending $300. So I don't know if I'm giving you that.
Keep it there.
Hey y'all.
These bitches ain't shit. Yo, shout out to Kabuta with the 199. Joined a black dating app. All women had tattoos. I feel your pain, brother.
But does anyone see that? No. Does anyone care about that? No. All they see is an aggressive black girl talking.
Shout out to True Hype with the fireball. She ate all that damn food and had one perception till the bill came, and all of a sudden it ain't good enough. Crazy work. Like, does it matter that the food only costs $90 though? Like, why you tripping off the $90 part? You was happy. You were satisfied. He was a good black man. He was a strong black man. You was doing tricks on the corn on the cob in front of that nigga. You was like, this is gonna be you later. I know how to do. You see how long this is? Like she was going ham, and then now, oh, you think this coochie only worth $90? I mean, technically, yeah, you could buy it for $90. Technically, if you want to go there, you can get something off for $90. 90 is a lot to work with if you're really out there in them streets. But nah. That's not good enough for Suki.
It's the only way, but like when they're throwing dollars at black women being ignorant to one another, it feeds into it.
Yeah, I can.
And that's what people see.
I can agree with that.
And now that's our perception of one another, and that's why we're looked at as a race, and that's how black women are looked at for that perception of being ignorant and men not wanting them from other races because of that. But it's entertaining.
But I will say that I see a lot of women with these other races now, and I've seen a lot of it recently, and I'm like, okay, these other races are messing with these women, and these black women are going to these other races, and they're feeling like appreciated or whatever the case may be, is what I have seen from a lot of people these days. So I do see that there's a shift, and I was actually just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, look, if you're happy somewhere else and you want to be with a different race, do that. I don't think there's any problem with that. I'm a biracial product of a biracial parents. So I can't even hate on that at the end of the day. But I think the bigger problem is with this platform, we have to make sure that we're creating unity more than separation. Like, what are the things? How can we problem solve this? What are the things that we can do to close the gap between Black men and Black women?
You can't do anything. We have to change laws. We have to remove privileges and excesses and whatnot. We have to take away perverse incentives and things like that. You can't do anything. You just have to stay pretty and bitter.
How can we be more united at the end of the day? You know, and I think that that's really, really important. And I think that's something that we should focus on more, because every day on the internet, all you see is why this person is, why women don't love, why, what are the solutions? We see everyone is very problem based.
Like, out of all of our role models,
Yeah.
like, our top women, like,
Yeah.
in this generation,
Yeah.
like, who are our popular top women and what do they talk about?
Michelle Obama, she has a podcast.
No. This generation don't relate to her. She's older. They're not following Michelle Obama. Maybe an older generation is. They're following Sexy Red, Cardi B. They're following what are Glorilla. They're following Megan Thee Stallion. What are they?
Bruh, you know it's so crazy, bro. And I pissed off the panel when I said this, right? Because, you know, I tend to do that. But I stand on my shit. I stand on my shit, and I'm going to stand on it again right here. I pissed off a panel the other night. Why do niggas listen to Glorilla? No, I didn't even get into that. It landed on Glorilla after. We was talking about, I forgot how it even came up, but somebody mentioned Young M.A., the female rapper chick, right? They was talking about studs. Yeah, they was talking about studs, right? And somebody listened to somebody brought up Young M.A. And then I was like, let me just act, because it was a total sidebar. I had to totally ruin the panel for this, but I was like, yo, why do niggas listen to Young M.A.? Like, why do niggas listen to female rappers in general? Like, I don't get that shit. Because, like, if you actually listen to what most of these female rappers are rapping about, it's always like, niggas ain't shit, I'm better than niggas, da-da-da-da-da, that type of shit. I'm like, I'm not trying to bop along to a bitch rapping about getting some pussy. Like, the fuck I look like? I'm not, no. What do you mean? I can't. I never understood that whole moment. Like, I remember when that song came out with Young M.A. Yeah, them bitches hate, but they broke, some shit like that. And I'm just like, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad song, whatever. I get why niggas like it, but you know me, I started thinking too much. I'm like, so like me and her, we supposed to like so she like one of the homies, we gonna go out to the club, try to bag bitches together. That's how we rolling now. That's the life we living now. I couldn't, bro. I just couldn't. Yeah, Young M.A. is in competition for the batches. Like, I just couldn't do it. I could not go there. And so I'm on a panel and I'm like, bro, like, why y'all niggas listen to M.A.? Why you niggas listen to Glorilla? That's what niggas got mad at me. Like, what you mean Glorilla is hard? I'm like, no. This is not right. We're supposed to be men. And then I try to make a deeper point. Like, it don't make no sense as men, as Black men. One of our big complaints about Black women is that they like aggressive and masculine and manly and shit like that. And then you support women acting like men. Like, you can't complain about bitches being masculine and manly and all this nigga shit, and then you support them when they act like niggas. Like, that shit don't work to me. So that's why I'm like, I don't support none of these female rappers for real. And I'm not saying everyone is Glorilla. Like, I like when Lauryn Hill rap. Like, it was a couple chicks that rap that was, you know, not horrible. Like, everybody liked Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim when they came out. But as a general rule, like, no, get these bitches off the mic, bro. This is bad for the culture. It's bad for the community. It's bad for everything. And shout out to True Hype with the $2 super chat. Let me see. Let me pull this thing up real quick. What the hell is this, man? Don't give me no copyright strikes. Goddamn biracial music. Is this the biracial anthem? This nigga hunting a half-blood. Oh, stop. That's the move you gotta bust when you're trying to get a biracial chick? No. No. That's the I fuck light-skinned bitches dance. No. Get out. Stop. I didn't even know. Now I gotta learn the whole dance routine. Damn, son. That's wow. Nigga got light-skinned dance moves. Why, bro? Why are you giving me this to play, man?
She knows the harm in choice. She won't go through it, ever do it, never prove it, let it go. She's biracial.
Where the fuck is this? Connecticut? Is this like Rhode Island or something? Where the hell is this?
She's a biracial girl. She's biracial. She's a biracial girl.
Is this Vermont? You niggas is terrible. Swear lives matter. You niggas is terrible. Can't believe you.
She's a biracial girl. One who has changed my world. She is the one for me. One for me.
God damn. You know what's funny? He says Providence, Rhode Island. Oh shit. I just felt the vibe. It looked like Northeast vibe. And you know what? He one of them niggas. I bet you black women look at him and be like, you date white girls, don't you? I bet you black girls tell him that all the time. You look like you date white girls.
Never an average girl, more precious than diamond pearls, a lovely prize to see.
I bet you those dance moves kill in the biracial dating apps, though. The biracial girls go crazy over his dance moves.
She thinks the world's gone mad. They say she has to choose one side.
Stop. I can't believe this shit. What do you niggas be watching in your free time? Jesus Christ.
She knows the harm in choice. She won't go through it, ever do it, never prove it, let it go. She's biracial.
Look at Keisha over here. One of us. Oh my God. This shit is like cringe and interesting at the same time.
Biracial girl. She's biracial. She's a biracial girl.
She's cute. Uh-oh. Now for the bridge. Now it's time for the breakdown.
I love you, biracial girl.
God damn it. I'm low key ashamed of all of us right now. I ain't even gonna lie, this just feels so cringe. I feel like I'm wasting my life right now. Watching this video, it makes me feel like a failure in life right now.
All the time. I love you, biracial girl.
Look at him coming to rescue her.
All the time. I love you, biracial. I wanna walk with you.
Bruh. Yeah. From now on, I have to preview every link. I can't trust you niggas no more. This is terrible. This is real terrible. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shout out to the biracial love triangles out there.
They talk about shaking their ass, popping that pee, dressing like this,
Right.
and our kids are watching this.
Yeah, I agree with you
So
100%.
like, like who is the face? Who is the face for this generation? Those are the faces that the kids look up to. They turn on the TV. This is what they think. They don't have to turn on the TV no more. We go onto our phone. And now this is what we got on us 24 hours a day to look at this. Oh, damn, we just saw Cardi right there. We just saw Megan. We just saw Sexy Red. Oh, she said this. We can't be hypocrites to this, dog. We can't be. Because this is what's being preached. This is what's getting fed to us.
But where is the hypocrisy coming in?
Like, the hypocrisy is coming into like,
because those are not my role models. So where is the hypocrisy?
The hypocrisy is Black women want to be treated a certain way, but act a certain way.
You can't generalize a whole group of women.
You're trying to speak for a whole group of women now. I don't know how you can dare speak for a whole group of women and then turn around and say, well, you can't generalize a whole group of women. Don't you have to generalize the whole group in order for you to now say that I'm the person to speak to their interest? Isn't that just kind of how that works? No? Shout out to Lasers. Thank you for the $2, bro.
Give me the money. Give me the money for all that I would do. Give me the money.
Those are our influences.
Yeah, but you can't generalize a whole group of women. Not all women, not all Black
I can't
women.
generalize all
Yeah,
women.
exactly. So there
But-
is a
but
group.
where
but
do
there's-
I go to see that group? Where's that group at?
Where are you at? Because
I'm
change where you're
asking
at and you'll see that
where's
group.
that group at though? Where can I get a group of Black women in one place that's like not being on some like crazy shit, like on some like Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, like
I don't go out and just see groups of women looking like Megan Thee Stallion and that.
yeah, that's what I see from the kids. You go to any high school, any
Yeah, I mean, maybe you just don't go out enough. Maybe that's what it is. Because when you get out in the world, you see things, man. I can show you things, right? I can show you a world.
Rocker, stop, rock that bitch, rock that y'all. Rocker. Ooh, rocker. Yeah. Get in there. Shoot that out. Stop. Yeah. Not take it. All right, stop. Stop. All right. Stop. Stop. Get in there.
Bitch, go fuck yourself! I'm gonna fucking shoot you in my fucking gun, fucking finger! Do it, bitch!
Grayson, take a walk. Grayson, take a
Watch
walk.
me fucking shoot your black ass!
Grayson, take a
She
walk.
angry, y'all. She angry.
I can show you the world.
public school. Go see
Well, you're
that.
talking about high schools now. I don't know that.
Well, go to the public schools. You go there. You go to the because I go to high school games.
Right.
And stuff.
I don't
You
know
what I'm
about
saying?
that.
So I'm seeing the youth.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what they own,
Yeah, I can't speak
and
to
I'm
the
like,
youth.
damn.
We see the youth too. We see what the youth on. The youth on some other shit.
Ain't nobody dressing regular no more.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see
damn.
that. I can't speak to the youth because I really am not involved or engulfed in that. So
I mean, it's, you know, that's what I see. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
so-
unfortunate that it is the way it is, but that's the culture we live in.
yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, I mean, listen, you can't change the world. You can only change what you do
Yeah.
and what you surround yourself with
100%.
and what kind of role model you decide you want to be for these kids and what you decide to listen to every day. You know what I mean? So I think those things are really important. And I think, like I said, you know, if you could just be better for yourself and it can help some other people, that's all you could do. Because it is a bad, right now we're in a crazy space. And I think that both Black women and Black men have contributed to that.
I'm trying to think. What race you think least contributes to society?
I don't.
Whoa. Whoa. That was way too loaded of a question for two people sitting in their pajamas. You are not supposed to ask questions like that with silk pajamas on. Type of shit you on, Paul. Scaring the hoes away.
And I think that both Black women and Black men have contributed to that.
I'm trying to think. What race you think least contributes to society?
I don't think I want to answer that question.
You can't answer that.
I'm not going to answer that. I'm scared. Yeah, no.
What race least contributes to society?
Or what race is just like...
Damn. Tomorrow on the Hood Conservative, what race contributes the least to society? Should we do it?
Ducked off. That's a better way to put it. Like not
It's
all
probably
in
one of
pop
them
cultures.
races that you just never hear about, Harley. That just be like somewhere in like middle of Europe somewhere that you just don't even know about. They just
like Polish, people from Poland.
yeah. There's just certain races that just they be on their own thing. They got
No, but let me just say this. I was in Switzerland, right? And I was
See, fuck all you guys in the chat. Your automatic thought is Black people. No, the answer is Native Americans. Yep. The answer is Native Americans. God damn it. You guys got to sharpen your racism, okay? I'm going to need you to be a little bit more accurate with your shit. All right? I know niggas are the most violent, but there's a lot of us, and we have jobs and businesses and shit like that too. All right? The answer is the Native Americans, okay? That's the answer to your question. And no, they don't all have casinos, all right? Only the rich white ones have casinos. He says still a close race. God damn it, fuck you too. You won't let a nigga have shit.
I was at a dinner for the chef or whatever, and we had like a chef dinner, and there was this guy, he was from Switzerland, and he had like an accent, and he didn't speak a lot of English. This man, he was a white, like whatever race is in Switzerland. He's that, and he has like blonde hair, and he is over there quoting Black culture, like videos. He's like, bang, 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 yeah, bitch. Like, and it was blowing me. I was like, I'll never forget this, because I'm like, you guys.
Wait, you just said he was quoting Black culture, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, no, because it's a video where it's like, it's this guy, and he's like, bang, bang, bang. I'm in the hood, I'm in the ghetto.
It was a rap video or something?
Yeah, no, it was just a viral video that was on the internet. And he was just like, bang, 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 something. And he was quoting that. And then he was like, bitch, please, like just saying all this like Black slang. And it was crazy because I'm like, why do you know this? And I'll never forget that. No, but that's the point. It made me realize I'm in Switzerland. I was either in Germany or, yeah, one of those places, because I went to like 5 places in a week. But that was crazy to me, and I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, I do understand how much influence that Black culture does have. And I think right now we're just lost, and we're just all over the place. And I feel bad for young girls.
I hate the fact that Black people think slang is influence, though. Ooh, you said my word. I have power. Fucking bullshit. You wear braids. That means I have power. You played my song. I have power. Black folk like point to the lamest shit. I swear to God. Like when you listen to some of these conversations, this is what happens when you're smart. You just be like disappointed a lot. That's the problem with having a high IQ. Motherfuckers be disappointing you too much. You wear Jordans. Black people have power. This shit's stupid. Like I was just watching Count Dankula talk about Akon City and how that whole thing was a flop. Like that would have been an exercise in power. If a guy like Akon had to put together that ambitious project, that would have been an exercise in power, right? But of course, it all went to shit. It was a terrible shit show. It was a disaster. Like the African Air Force, it was a disaster. But everybody know how to sing an Akon song, right? Locked up, they won't let me out, right? Because, you know, that's blacks having power. Shout out to you, Mr. O.
These blacks.
Oh, what a day. What a day. Blacks have power because you listen to Nas.
MAGA is always saying that single black mothers are raising thugs, but never take accountability for the fact that y'all will have two people in the household and still raise a terrorist. Y'all will say that black people are promoting sex through rap music, but never talk about the fact that white men make up the majority of rape and pedophilia cases. Y'all always want to talk about that, how black people make up 50% of arrests, but never talk about the 50% of exoneration. It's time for MAGA.
You know what? I want to throw something out there to you guys. We're going to switch over to the last part and then we get out of here. But this idea that white men commit the most sexual assault in America, I might even give you that in the grand scope of it. But I think that the numbers in Black America are significantly higher than the data reflects. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is my theory. I shared this theory on Fantastics for the first time the other night. Let me share it with you guys here. And when I look at the pronounced levels of homosexuality in Black America, I can't help but to wonder if this is a result of children being assaulted at high levels. Like incredibly high levels. I know it's a shocking theory, but this is I suspect that there are larger numbers of child PDF in Black America than we like to acknowledge. And the single motherhood culture kind of allows for that in a lot of ways that we don't like to talk about as well. Children left unsupervised doing things to each other, also a factor.
MAGA to stop talking about Black issues. It's time for MAGA to stop pretending like they actually care about the Black community, and instead they need to focus on the white supremacists that they're raising. They need to focus on the fact that they're raising pedophiles and rapists, and they need to figure that out. They need to fight for those people to also receive harsher punishments, because why are we letting pedophiles back out? That's insane. They're more likely to recommit that crime than murderers. So why are we letting them back out? No, I got an idea why. Y'all focus on your issues. We will worry about our community, and you handle that fucking mess.
Yeah, AT aliens is another thing I learned too. And you probably heard about this if you read a crime study. In urban Black America, like the major cities, as I understand it, there is a backlog in processing what they call rape kits, right? So when women have sexual assault, they get processed through the hospital. I mean, they get medically processed and the police take the evidence. And we just can't process all the evidence, right? Which that alone tells you, like, what do you mean there's just too much to process, right? But like I said, it's just a theory of mine. I could be wrong. I don't claim to know everything.
About the state of unemployment for Black workers, specifically Black women, and in comparison to previous years as well?
So it's been really disheartening, the information that came out from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, with about 320,000 Black women leaving the workforce from between February and April, I believe, but that's going to continue. And as of August, the latest data that we have, it looks like the unemployment rate for Black women is 7.5%. Right now, the national average is a little over 4%. And for men, Black men, it's about 7.1. So Black women are sort of at the highest level of the unemployment rate. And it just goes to show, the impacts that a lot of the policies, I would say, that have been happening through the federal government have on not just people, but Black women specifically.
What do you think has contributed to the rise in unemployment when we're looking at the numbers in terms of Black women?
Ayanna Pressley actually was just, I think, sent a letter to the feds, and she used this quote that when America gets a cold, Black people get pneumonia. And if you look at the data around the 300,000, 320,000, 350,000, some people are reporting Black women who've lost their jobs, they're often, the phrase is, that's the canary in the coal mine. Mm-hmm. What happens to Black people and to Black women is usually a precursor or a red flag for what can happen nationally. So people may think that, oh, that's just happening over there, but it really is a warning sign for where our economy is going. And economists have known that for a long time. The unemployment rate for Black people is typically higher than the national unemployment rate.
Pastor says Black women can be good employees. What compelled you to say that? Like, why did you feel the need to offer that up to the chat? Unprompted, totally out the blue. We weren't even talking yet. I was just playing the video. No commentary had even been added yet. For reasons that are inexplicable to me, Pastor Doom tells everyone in the chat, Black women can be good employees. Why would you say that?
How do it equivalate?
But as you see it increasing, it is kind of a warning sign of economic trends that people have followed for decades. There are a couple of factors people have cited. Certainly the mass layoffs in federal jobs is a big factor. Black women are overrepresented in federal jobs. So there's a lot of talk about just their—
Why are they overrepresented in federal jobs?
Economic mobility and the way that that's been pulled back because of the loss, the cuts with federal jobs. But people also, I think it's important to acknowledge, it's not just the federal jobs. That's not the only reason. Mm-hmm. Some people have attributed tariffs to the decrease in employment for Black women, specifically.
Are Black women so heavily ingrained in the international trade markets that the tariffs are really knocking them out like that? That's just hard to imagine.
Because small businesses are really being impacted by the tariff policies. And I think it's interesting, I don't have the data on it, but Black women getting hired through small businesses is a result, is a factor to the unemployment rate, certainly. And I just think it would be interesting to compare the rate of Black women in small businesses versus in larger corporate spaces, where I think the barriers are much bigger. So there's the tariffs, there's the federal layoffs, and then of course, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I want to be really careful here to say that it's not that, Black women are now being seen as unqualified, through these attacks on DEI. But really the reality is, I think, and a lot of folks are citing, that the attacks on DEI are targeting people of color. There's actually a mass.
Doesn't DEI itself target people of color, though? Wasn't the whole point of DEI to focus on people of color? And so if we attack DEI, doesn't that mean by nature it's going to be people of color? Like, it just is what it is, right? Nothing nefarious about it.
Lawsuit, mass action, class action for us, hundreds, if not thousands, of federal employees that were laid off. And they're citing the ways in which the attacks on DEI have disproportionately impacted everyone except white men. So I think those are three factors that are coming into.
Again, the whole point of DEI was to hire less white men. DEI basically means anybody but white men. Well, straight white men. Like, if you blow guys on your off time, you can probably get a government job too. But generally speaking, DEI is about anti-straight white men, Christian too.
Play in terms of why Black women are, at the highest levels of unemployment right now.
Talk to me about the role that YW Boston plays in addressing challenges that Black women are facing in the workplace.
We're in the process of doing strategic planning. Our mission is eliminating racism and empowering women. And so I'm excited to figure out how we can center women of color more specifically in our work. Some of the
it's not a good look on the community that a lot of Black women's jobs are literally to fight racism. Because the very inclusion of a person like that in your workplace is an automatic indictment that you people are all racist in some kind of way, and I'm here to make you better. It's literally putting like Black women in a weird position of moral authority that hasn't been earned and will inherently be abused.
Ways that we've been doing that are, we had a webinar with an amazing group of panelists in July, focused specifically on Black women's mental health in the workplace, right? And it's something that we know, this is even before all of the data came out about the 300,000, or right around the time. We had planned this already, but we know that Black women, even when they are employed, are struggling, right? Never mind when they're not. We have a lot of programming coming up this fall to kind of focus specifically on women of color, Black women and women of color, including another webinar in October that focuses on women of color in the workplace. And so what is the status? So it'll be a continuation of this conversation.
Here's another reason why I just don't have any tolerance for like racial diversity, this, that, my Black, this, that, because like, and especially when it comes to the women, almost everything goes to y'all primarily anyway. So like, spare me with your problems. Sounds like a skills issue, honestly.
We also have an advocacy training that we're planning specifically for women of color to help uplift their voices, help them navigate the political scene we're in right now. We have a leadership program that we might be launching in 2026. And we're also building partnerships with amazing organizations like the Boston Women's Fund, Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition. I'm hoping to connect with the NAACP and other Black women focused organizations so that we can be in partnership to come up with different solutions. I have a longer list of things that we're.
And notice the government at this point exists to encourage. The government exists to encourage and to facilitate women doing anything except for being wives and mothers. Well, mothers maybe, but not wives. Like the government exists to basically help women not to be married. And they use our money as men to do it.
But I don't know how much time we have. But this,
and then they laugh
is
and
really
laugh
important
and
to me,
laugh.
and not just because I'm a Black woman, but because I know this impacts our communities and has a ripple effect on our communities. But there's a lot of misunderstanding of what DEI is. It really essentially comes down, in my opinion, to civil rights and to removing barriers for opportunity and outcomes, right? And so if people can maintain, organizations, workplaces can maintain their DEI efforts, they really are not giving certain people advantages, but making sure that barriers are removed for people who normally aren't getting the same access as their coworkers. And it can feel really vulnerable. Even here at YW Boston, we felt the effects of the pushback and the attacks on DEI but we know how important it is for the well-being of everybody. So I think, just not obeying in advance, not sort of preemptively complying to the fear and the lack of clarity around DEI is important. Learning what you can do legally, which most of the DEI work is legal, is really important. I think that there are also ways in which Black women can, organizations, whether or not they do quote DEI, can really think about their hiring and retention strategies. A lot of folks are strapped right now financially, and they may have a position of, last one hired, first one fired, right? If they're downsizing.
Not only that, but in terms of value to the actual company, I think when we look at numbers like 300,000 Black women have been fired in the last couple of months, yada, yada, yada. As a company, if a person or if there are people that are critical to your actual productivity, they actually help you make money, you don't fire them first, you fire them last, right? And then on top of that, let's say it's a more bureaucratic governmental position, right? The fact that we can just trim off 300,000 women from the government bureaucracy, it kind of tells me you weren't really doing all that much anyway.
We know that disproportionately impacts marginalized employees. So being able to think about some of the policies that folks have been using for a long time and how they may impact Black women or other marginalized communities is really important. If you are retaining staff, I think there's a lot of really important opportunity for mentorship, for coaching, for professional development for Black women, for just workplace wellness for everybody again. I don't know if you've heard of John Powell. He's big with the Othering and Belonging Institute, but he's a big proponent, and I am too, of the targeted universalism concept, which is to say that if you pay attention and support, some of the most marginalized groups, it kind of helps everybody, right? It lifts all boats, so to speak. So when you think about what do Black women in the workplace needs, addressing those things are going to positively impact and improve the workplace experience for pretty much everyone.
Now that I don't know if that's true at all. She just said just having them there improves the workplace experience.
Just to say that if you pay attention and support, some of the most marginalized groups, it kind of helps everybody, right? It lifts all boats, so to speak. So when you think about what do Black women in the workplace needs, addressing those things are going to positively impact and improve the workplace experience for pretty much everyone.
Type in the chat the amount of times you've heard someone say, you know what this place needs? More Black women. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to be that guy, but like, how often have you actually heard that said before? You know what this thing, you know what would be perfect in here? More Black women.
So those are some things that I think organizations can do, but that's on the institutional level, right? I think systemically, we have to continue even, again, thinking about DEI and how policies play out that support or don't support Black women's progress in the workplace. I was thinking about this question in terms of what are some of the barriers that Black women have to just maintain employment? A lot of Black women are the breadwinners in their families. So what does that mean for their opportunities to pursue education, to pursue vocational training? If, childcare is unaffordable, how does that compromise a Black woman's, employment opportunities or growth opportunities? Student loans, like there are so many areas of kind of financial and economic opportunities that we've had to look at on the systemic level in addition to the organizational level to see how we can support, this demographic.
What changes do you hope to see? Because this is gonna take a while. This is gonna be a labor
Yes.
of love, no pun intended. But what changes do you hope to see for Black women and employment in the years to come in terms of like the employee landscape?
I love this question. If I'm being honest, I have some skepticism, because the record has shown that Black folks' unemployment rate is always above the national average. But as a baseline, I would love to see that reduced, right? I would love to see Black folks' unemployment rate, whatever it is, be on par with the national average and not exceed that. I would love to see more policies in place that support economic empowerment for Black women, including like entrepreneurship, small loans, microloans, microlending, just ways in which Black women can experience and enhance either self-employment opportunities or furthering their opportunities in a workplace. And again,
it just occurs to me like it would totally like throw out the entire number set if we started over. But how would we measure things like the employment rate if we didn't have an economy that was so full of female employment? It's like we kind of mandate female employment, and I wonder what the true employment rate would be if we didn't actually mandate female employment.
And that could include things like providing childcare or stipends for childcare, stipends for education. I know some workplaces do things like that, but really investing in Black women employees and not just seeing them as the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Disposable employees, which I think is what also happens. I think I'm really interested in the discourse around occupational segregation and looking at where do we see a majority of Black folks, people of color, Black women, what roles, what jobs are they overrepresented in and what jobs are they underrepresented in? And not surprisingly, the jobs in which Black women are underrepresented in tend to be the more high paying jobs, either through vocational work or through STEM, science, technology, et cetera, right? So what are we putting in place to have more of an adequate representation for Black women in those?
Notice, I've noticed, I'm not even going to go through it now because it's getting late. We've been on for a minute, but there's like 5 videos right now going around within the last couple of weeks, really, focusing on Black women's job losses, right? And I don't think there's any about Black men. And one, I don't think Black men's job loss numbers are that heavy because we're not as heavily tied to the government employment as women are. But then 2, I really think that, and this is kind of just, philosophical difference, I guess, right? But if you actually care about uplifting the Black community, what you want is the men making significantly more money than the women. That's the number one kill shot right there. If the men make a lot more money than the women as a rule, it will boost birth rates and marriage rates. Like marriage rates will boost up and then the marriage rates will boost the birth rates. Like those 2 things will go hand in hand. Because one of the things right now that's kind of like depressing Black growth, in my opinion, is the fact that the gap between Black men's income and Black women's income isn't that high. And as things go between men and women would prefer to like choose between men who make significantly more than men. If you could swing that to like a stay-at-home position, that's even great. That's like the sweet spot for women, right? I can work if I want to. If you can apply that to policy, things will change really, really quickly.
Fields. These are things, like you said, that are very much about the long-term changes, but we have to start somewhere, right? And I firmly believe that we can do these, we can achieve these if we really set our mind to it, we meaning all of us. But it is going to be, it's a long-term strategy for sure.
So someone who watches you and hears what you're doing, and you're laying out how workplaces can improve the atmosphere and improve the opportunities for Black women. But then a regular person might be at home and say, well, how do I affect change? What can I do? So what does that person do who's watching? And they're like, I just want to do something. How do I help?
I love that question. My first response was take care of yourself. You know, the world does feel like it's on fire right now. And just being able to get up and do what you need to do, whatever that is, can feel like an achievement. So I say that to Black women specifically, take care of yourself. I myself might be a hypocrite in doing that, but I know how important it is, right? And then
Not going to talk about those obesity rates, though. Not going to talk about them obesity rates, though. Things are changing. Better take care of yourself. Shit's getting rough out here, ladies.
The Black women are going to hate me for this, but I don't really give a fuck. I just don't care to approach them anymore. Even if they look good, even if they look at me, I just don't care to make the first approach. They can approach me first, though. And I'm not saying that it's all Black women. It's not all Black women. There are some Black women that will be respectful, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I just think 9 times out of 10, if you approach a Black woman, like, there's just a more likely chance of you getting disrespected, or she's going to look at you and say, you need something? Or, who are you? Like, what you want? You need something? What? Just attitude, like, for no fucking reason. You could be being nice and just trying to offer her an opportunity, or you could be telling her, hey, you dropped your wallet, or something fell out of your pocket, or you can be trying to offer her an opportunity. It don't matter. Like, if you are a man and you, especially a Black man, like, if you approach them, they're gonna be like, what's up? Like, why are you talking to me? As a Black man, why are you just coming up to me talking to me? I don't know you. They only respect people that they already know. They don't respect strangers a lot of the times, and not all of them. So calm down. If this doesn't apply, then don't reply. But 9 times out of 10, especially as a Black man, you're going to get a freaking attitude, because they feel like, who are you to come and just talk to me? Who are you to come up to me and just talk to me? I don't know you. That's the mentality a lot of them have, or they just have like an overly dramatic reaction. Like, especially if you are a Black man. And I'm not going to lie, women in America are already disrespectful enough, like even other races, to men when they approach them. But Black is probably like the worst of the worst. Like, you have a better chance of approaching like a Latino, Snow Bunny, or any other race and like not get disrespected than a Black woman. Like, not like if we had to like rank this first place, you're gonna get disrespected by a Black woman first before any other race. I'm just gonna keep it a stack. That's just my opinion, and also based on my experience and a lot of the results from other men. That's just what it is, even if you're not being a creep and being weird.
But does anyone see that? No. Does anyone care about that? No. All they see is an aggressive Black girl talking.
Y'all have a good night.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help Black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.